Well, welcome back to Monster Train. I am, as always, your host, a pack of wild dogs terrorizing the countryside. I thought about this one. I actually thought of that one ahead of time. I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to say in Monster Train today. Don't ask me why I thought of it. But then after thinking about it, I went, I don't really know where the countryside is. Like, what stretch of land is considered the countryside? That's a question that I did not look up because I forgot about it until this moment when I went, hey, what am I going to say in the intro today? Melting today. What was yesterday's run? Oh, yesterday was the run that had Glacial Seal on it, and for some reason I didn't title it about Glacial Seal, if you can believe it. I didn't because I forgot. I actually just forgot that Glacial Seal was in the run when I set it to upload the next day. But that's alright. How's it going? Hey, it's a bit of a quicker intro here, but don't worry, I'll drag it out. Hope you're doing well today. It is Tuesday, I believe. It's Tuesday for you. It's Tuesday for me, maybe? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Nice. It's Tuesday. Hope you're having a nice Tuesday. Tuesday, I think, is the hardest day of the week. You want my 5-day work week hot takes? Monday is not the hardest day of the week because Monday's like, oh, remember that cool stuff we did on the weekend? At least I have to look forward to that, right? Tuesday is the day where it's like the weekend has faded, but the next weekend is far away. Wednesday is like, hey, halfway there. Thursday is tomorrow is the last day of the week, and then Friday is, of course, Friday. That's my week hot takes. I think Tuesday is the worst day. And probably, I think the best day is Thursday, too. I feel like the anticipation for anticipation is my favorite part. Anyway, my question is unrelated to this dialogue topic. I just kind of got off track there. My question for you today is a very simple: boneless wing or bone-in wing. And if you're vegetarian, I apologize that you cannot participate, but I'm a big boneless wing fan. We've been having a bit of boneless wing related discussion on stream and in Discord, and yeah, I very simply, boneless wing, much easier to eat without making a mess, and I hate having stuff on my hands. I don't like getting sauce on them and things of that nature. It's like one of the reasons I don't get into a lot of cooking things is because I don't like anything related to dough. I hate getting dough stuck on my fingers. So, fun question, good one. People get real mad about wings though. I used to get mad about food. It was part of my persona. My internet persona, like last year when I was figuring out what I would do, right? And I used to argue about food with people a lot. It's a lot, dude. It's just tiring to be mad all the time. Let's do the run, shall we? Speaking of being mad all the time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Today we are Melting Exile Stygian, Blighting Seal Daedalus, Shadow Arcus, Chase Seraph, Hollow Drippings Mollusk Mage, and Mortal Entrapment. Sure. Fine. This is a bit of a run back of the run from 2 days ago. Obviously not quite, but 2 days ago was Stygian Melting. This run is Stygian, or Melting Exile Stygian. Similarly bad for Incant, so we have to find a different plan, is what I feel. Although the start isn't that bad, and I could probably force it if I wanted to. I don't like starting with Pyrestone Housing. I'll just say it. Pyrestone Housing is really good, but this is an artifact that I think... it gives you no benefit in the first 3 combats. So, give me a Vapor Funnel. Technically, Pyrestone Housing could give you benefit. Maybe it lets you pick a relic or pick an upgrade that you would otherwise not, which makes your early game stronger. Like maybe you take a plus 25 because you have the extra slot, right? And you go, okay, cool. But mostly it does very little. Vapor Funnel does a lot. Give me Burnout Rector, please. No shock there. And we have 2 Burnout extensions. I want the relic. Oh, Mark of an Exile. That's really good. Mark of an Exile is really good because it makes Rector into a viable late game tank for us. We'll slap bottom floor and just race the boss. As long as I draw a Hotwood Drippings, yeah, okay. No fear, we take 0 here cleanly. Because the second wave will... Oh no, it might take 5. I want to watch this Priest with the Extinguish and make sure that it dies. And I do that by throwing 2 freezes at it, or 1 freeze. Okay, we throw down some team members here to take care of you. Okay, On this run, I mean, we'll see what they show us, but especially with Burnout Rector, I'm very much inclined to play a Burnout-based plan. Depending on what we see, right? Basically, Incant is the big trap of this run. If I see a Siren, I should probably not take it, because I feel like we're not in a good position to force Sirens to work. But, you know, if I do see a Siren and nothing else good, there's a draft here, though. Draft for sure here. I feel like this is a run for Lady of the Reformed plus Paraffin Enforcer strats. Take space and all of that. Give me Crystallis. Lady of the Reformed. Yeah. Sure. I think that's really good. So I think you go Lady of the Reformed and you play... It's a little weird because we have Mark of an Exile, I guess, and Mark of an Exile makes me want to play Rector as the frontliner, but Lady of the Reformed is still good. With enough health, which he has, Rector should solo carry Relentless as long as he has the burnout for it. And so we just need to answer the waves. And we can probably answer heavies, so we just really need to answer backline, I feel. Paraffin Enforcer, get in here. Now, do you want to do Paraffin Enforcer into draft? I actually do. So here's the play. We're going to go... Yeah, okay. So we'll take a little look ahead real quick. Temple, money, temple, 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 temple. Okay, 5 temples on this run. So, I don't take this artifact. The hardest thing to do here is not take this artifact. I want it. I know I want it. I know you want it. But it's not good here. One sec, I need to move my chair in. And I don't want to, like, bang my desk and all that, so... There we go. I'm doing a whole full body reposition here, so if you hear any shifting noises... Oh, I bumped my desk anyway. Anyway, so... On this run, if we commit to this strategy early enough, which we are going to, I believe it should win. And the game plan is Rector, Lady, then Rector, then 2 drafts with Paraffin Enforcer infusion. And I think that normally this plan loses because the drafts don't have draw priority. But if we thin the deck out and take double draw, oh, we'll take 1 draw, 1 space. But if we thin the deck out enough, it should win pretty cleanly. And so... The other important piece to this that I want to do is I want to put Burnout 1 onto the draft so that it has Burnout 2, so that I have an extra turn of it living. The awkward part of this is the Divinity, because if you want to play the second draft, you have to take double space, or you have to play bottom floor and let the first wave walk. Right, because top 4 of this draft just dies, and we're going to be scaling Rage, so we can't have it die. But... that's a problem for down the line. How is Lady of the Reformed with Incant Armor 2? Probably pretty bad. Okay. The plan is now laid out before you, and we will see how it pans out. Mark of Invasion, I'm just going to play bottom floor, and that's a free trial because of Vapor Funnel. So Vapor Funnel gives us, in this instance, value to the tune of 75 gold. Or if you want to look at it the other way, 9, like 13 health, right? Either way is not wrong. It will just die this wave. I should have played, instead of Train Steward, I should have played Paraffin Enforcer, but that's okay. It's not really doing a whole lot of respecting of these early combats because we are Burnout Rector. And Burnout Rector is a pretty strong early gamer that doesn't really require me to do a whole lot of min-maxing. Exhibit A. I mean, he just crushes 1 heavy for you every round. That's really all you have to worry about. Dripfall is the card that answers the Divinity problem, and so we don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. We make a second draft, we play top floor on every other combat, and then on Divinity we Dripfall the second draft. I'll look for permafrost on it. Sounds fine. And we will skip. So we're gonna keep the deck relatively thin here, and I'm interested to see if we just steamroll from this position. Next one's money, so I'll do the infusion now. Kinda have to. I have 10 health per combat with this. This is really good. Refracting lenses, excellent here. Tethys' scales is also fine. I've come around a lot. In the early days, I thought Tethys' scales was really bad, but even just 50% spell weakness 1 is a big deal. 50% chance to double 50 damage to 100, for example, is really strong. However, healing 10 health for combat is really good, especially if that goes up. And the Siren's fun. Cold Kalia is bad. I'll press skip. I think I just dropped something. What was that? Did you hear that? Probably not. Yeah, give me a water break here. Endless Tome is good. Yeah, because so it gives us the best of both worlds on Lady. If in my optimal run setup here, my game plan is to cycle the deck in 3 turns. Yeah, game plan here is to cycle the whole deck in about 3 turns. So maybe like give or take 3 or 4 cards. In 3 turns, cycling the whole deck, we should hit Remnant Pact then, and that would mean that we just get Endless onto Our Lady without having to worry about it. From a shot perspective, which leaves us open to taking 2 plus 25s on her instead. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm considering, I want to say here, I think it is worth considering no infusion for 2 rounds of combat, 3 and 4. I think that we would be fine. That's kind of just it though, right? I feel like we would be fine. I feel like it's okay. And I get to save myself on pack shards, which will maybe save me some chip damage onto the pyre, right? But let's just do it now. I think that if this run it's a weird one because this is the sort of choice that maybe will have a lasting repercussion, but I would be surprised. And we'll go right here and we'll try to find one more upgrade for this draft. If this draft gets a multi-strike, he's going to absolutely take over after duplicating. But yeah, from this position we have 27 cards. I could have done Intrinsic on the Endless Tome, but I don't want to go to 50 in the Daedalus. That's red territory and that's scary. However, this combat's a little frightening. Strangely, this run, despite being melting, has no reform in it. And without the draft, I don't have a way to kill these 9x2s and these 5/1s. So, draft's here. Oh, and Paraffin Enforcer gives Burnout. I probably didn't need to give him Burnout 1 then. I forgot that Paraffin Enforcer gives 2 Burnout. Somehow. Even though that's the whole reason that it's playable. Oh well. Play the units out, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Same outcome. But one of these ways I get my units gone. We drew the Endless Tome right on time. Mollusk Mage is on this run. I really started with Mollusk Mage with only 1 spell that Mollusk Mage could buff in the deck. That's tragic. The Endless line for Lady, I'm realizing now it runs into a problem when I Drip Fall Overflow drafts, by the way. Yeah, it sure does. Runs into a bit of an old snag there. Oh. Maybe I just say tough, but that— oh, I could do Intrinsic Hold over Drip Fall, actually. And that would work. That just cancels the Divinity. But in Relentless, that doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's a good problem to have that I'm sitting here trying to hypothesize the Divinity as we just crush. But I don't really know how you cleanly fix this problem. Maybe it is just take double space, honestly. Or I could just live with 1, but still problem of dying to spikes then. Big mistake, I should have looked for plus 25 instead of Burnout 1. Disregard Harness the Titan Siren Song. Siren Song is a little better. Gifts for a Guard is not very good. I'm okay though. Big Sludge? Wrong run, Big Sludge. Or really wrong time. Get out of here, Big Sludge. Let me take one space, and then maybe at Arcus I will have seen something that makes me go, ah yeah, I'm taking another space. Skill shop, I would like to see multi-strike. So plus 25 is worth thinking. 35, the thing about this is 35 health on this draft, he's still going to die. It's 4 rounds instead of 2. Well, he gets to attack for 4 rounds instead of 1. Dies on the 5th round instead of the 2nd. I just don't see it, right? I don't see it as a plus 25 angle, actually. Multi-strike on the other hand. I mean, the thing is, it's worth committing to, because I should have put plus 25 on the lady. That's just silly of me. But regardless. I have seen it before. If you put down 2 drafts with 2 multi-strike Paraffin Enforcer, they will kill the Divinity very quickly. So here's my new thinking on the Divinity, because I have 10 burnout between these 2 hollow drippings plus the burnout that Lady gives. Maybe she doesn't matter on the Divinity is the new line. Maybe I just ignore her. I have like a million temples, so I don't need to plan out my pack shards too much. We just kind of work it out. Don't do it. Invasion Trial in this combat is really scary, especially without a consistent backline solution, which we ended up drawing perfectly for this combat. I really think that if you disrespect the haste combat on floor 4, especially with Mark of Invasion, you're asking to get slapped. You're really just asking the game to give you a little beating. Make you as an egg. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty brainless line for melting. This is an example. This run is the perfect look at why I click on draft always. Draft does some nuts things for your run now. Especially with Paraffin Enforcer. I mean, primarily with Paraffin Enforcer's change. Draft is really just a never skip. He has so many good practical applications. If you get Paraffin Enforcer and you slap him on draft, or vice versa, that scales out of control really fast. Engulfed in Smoke is kind of good. I will take Wicked Blaze. It's a nice little insurance card in case of a... No, I'm not going to, actually. I'm not going to take any insurance. We're going to go all in. Change my mind. I mean, you always click on Silence Tome, right? It's okay to give up a draw for it, probably. I said I wasn't going to take any more cards, and I keep on taking cards, but they're offering me good cards. I'm trying not to take too many answers, though. Give me... Do you think 40 Pyre Health is worth more or less than Golden Vault? I'm going to take 40 Pyre Health here because 40 Pyre Health is simpler and it's less thinking. Brain off, no think. Me draft. Yeah, that's 55 right there. Draft number 2. So it's all temples, so I just click on... and take 3 15s. And either way, I don't take magic power here. And we'll look at 15s in the next one. Spell chaining hollow drippings looks okay, because I think my Divinity plan is to let Rector tank after all. With Mark of an Exile, multi-strike is scary on stealth combat, for sure. There's no way that playing Drag really... I mean, no, why would I play Drag? I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about playing Drag to draw out the Ember Drain, but I mean, you can kind of solve for yourself why that doesn't work, I imagine. You don't even need to walk you through it. You're a professional, right? Save this unnamed tome in case the next guy is infused. If the third wave overcharge tank is infused, we want to hold it. Also, Dripfall the front line away sounds cool. Here, no foregone power though. Yeah, it's just 25. That's okay. Nope, no bad infusions on this combat. I can't tell if bad infusions are something that only happen when you sin. By that I mean they only happen due to bad luck, or if bad infusions happen as like a side effect of... Maybe they had... the alternative I feel is they happen as a side effect of having higher pack shards. It's a little bit of both, right? More enemies are infused on higher pack shards, so it's bigger... I'm gonna press enter here. Or, like, you have a bigger sample size in terms of number of units infused, so you'll feel the effects of having a specific unit, like a specific enemy on the other side infused. This crushes, right? It doesn't crush, I guess, but... I mean, actually, considering Self-Made Harpy and double Silent Marksman here that aren't being touched, this crushes. Yeah, it actually kills Self-Made Harpy in 2 hits, so I would actually move that into the crushes category, come to think of it. What a very Subsuming Blade Memories is a skip. Ancient Synergy is worth giving an honorable mention to before I press the skip button. This is the deck that wants to get down to 19 or 18 cards, as few as possible, really. I feel like I was wrong, by the way. If I go for Holdover Intrinsic Dripfall, it's fine. I'm gonna cut out Mollusk Mage before Foregone Power. But like the Holdover plan isn't bad because I think we'll generate so much rage we just run over the Divinity in a short amount of time. Just hold over. Just don't die so we want to grab 15 here. Making Crystallis free is cool, Mortal Entrapment 1 is cool. I think that no matter what, I'm gonna hold over Dripfall here, because it's even good if... No, it's not really good actually. I was gonna say it's good because we can move units down more efficiently on the mid floor, but that doesn't make any sense. That's a bad thought. Incorrect. But then what do I hold over? Nothing. I mean, it's fine, right? We have the money for it. I may as well buy it as a just in case, I guess. And we will remove a Foregone Power. I like 3 Foregone Powers and then the rest we put to dregs. But we're pretty close to not having any more removals to think about anyway. Okay, let's see Arcus here. I wonder if I just take double space. It's not necessarily a bad call. The latest we'll draw dregs or drafts is turn 3. Oh, you're farming me with this Dark Shard. You're farming me, brother. That's tough. So I will just play bottom floor to bypass curses, and I'm not worried about the... Like, it sucks a little bit that we get this daze on our floor, but as long as Aerophin Enforcer exists, or sorry, Draft it exists, it's fine. I should have played Dragon Front before I played Draft to save 9 health on Lady, but I bet it'll be okay. I take a curse. I will block this hit. We have plenty, so I'm not scared. You're dying, giving a curse off. I know I just moved my chair in, but I'm now going to move my chair out and do a quick stretch. I recommend if you haven't lately, you can stretch as well. Give yourself a moment. Take a second to yourself. Stand up and walk around a little bit. You deserve it. You've earned it. And I've earned it as well. I'm gonna stand up. I don't know why I'm saying that. You're just gonna hear a little shift in my voice because I'm above the mic now. My hands are off the mouse, so you're gonna watch animations. But yeah, I just press end turn, really. I don't have to do anything once I'm settled in, I feel like. Vector acts as the second line of defense. We got the first line of defense already handled. Yeah, this is a just press end turn sort of run, isn't it? There's no more choices to make. Is draft the most brainless thing you can do in this game now? That would be crazy. Might be true though. I'm just gonna go to Super Ultra. I know I've been pretty inconsistent on my usage of Super Ultra, but I think it's okay to just use it here because I don't know, run's over. Or combat's over, I mean. My rough math tells me that I kill Arcus if I don't replay Lady. My brain is like, hey, watch out, he's gonna get you, but there's no way. Also, I just redrew in the Lady, I guess. No way. I think that this run is kind of a brought to you by Mark of an Exile sort of situation, too. Ernest the Titan Gifts was in the last one. I think this was Siren's Song instead of Deep Offering, though. I'm okay. Moment of Truth. What do you want to do? I want to take double space. I will. I think I've done enough removals that I can afford the luxury of double space here. And double space is just a lot easier. A lot easier to manage. Capricious Reflection for 1 ring. I actually think Jackstrips is better because it pings off damage shield on the first wave of Divinity. Is it possible for me to... Oh, Twinstone Hollow Drippings. I was about to say, is it possible for me to... Oh, maybe I should have done... I interrupted myself twice here. But maybe I should have done Twinstone Endless to refresh Rector in case he dies. He's gonna have a lot of health though. But whatever I was saying, I interrupted myself twice and then dropped it. Hilarious. What does he get? He gets like 210 health. No healing though is kind of scary. I believe what I was going to say before I interrupted myself, before I was so rudely interrupted by the pack of wild dogs roaming the countryside. I wonder if I can roll a 15 that I can't take in the next temple. I think the answer is no, but I need to make sure I leave in an extreme stone target and the other one, value stone. Value stone's easy. And the third one, it's Extreme Stone, Value Stone, and Spell Chain, which we have good targets for. Spell Chain, at least. And Extreme Stone, Value Stone, we have targets. Okay, I think we're good. Purifiers. No spikes. We want to avoid spikes at all costs. There's one card I would take, though. I would grab Resin Removal in a heartbeat for this run. And we'll start playing mid-floor when the draw looks like this. Purifier combat will pose a grand threat. I drew a draft, so we should be okay. However, I do think that Purifiers pose a real threat to our run. Not because of the Purifiers themselves. The slowing down of the draw doesn't matter too much. I already hit my draft. The problem is that I'm just going to get cursed. Or not cursed. I'm going to have to deal with these beefcake frontliners. I think I actually do need to silence one of these. Let me silence this one. Give myself a little bit better of a chance to draw into the second draft. The second draft would be nice, and also Endless would be good here, but yeah, Endless works. Am I saving by playing this ever? Give it a sec. I think I am, right? If I have Mortal Entrapment, I think it's right. I think I have Mortal Entrapment. I can take no damage but take a curse here. Let's take no damage and take a curse. I'm gonna play Greed here. Because we should be scaled up enough mostly to... Yeah, we're scaled up enough on the draft's rage now that he's setting them into range to die to the pyre through Vapor Funnel, which saved me 19, like 48 damage in this combat or something like that. I'm telling you, dude. Like even if it doesn't seem like it, if you're given the chance, just take it. Sure, plus one unit upgrades is cool, but have you thought about Vapor Funnel lately? It's really good. You die doing 38. Is that right? Yeah, I guess so. When you think about it from a raw numbers output, every time one of those drafts attacks, it gives 9 rage. It gives 36 rage per attack. So you gain 72 rage in terms of damage to your floor increase. I think our biggest problem, and it is a big problem, but I think our biggest problem is spikes. I think that my drafts kill themselves on spikes and I have no answer to it. I didn't really think about it, but I think that'll be our downfall here. So in hindsight, if I lose this run, you gotta swap the burnout stone for plus 25 so they don't die to spikes. And yeah, we'll see if that's the case. Or just take a reform card, right? So you have the insurance for it. One reform card would make it easier as well. But I have neither of those things. Hammered chest plates would be pretty sick here. That might be the game saver. It has extreme stone. We'll put it on. What Crystallis? So I have the intrinsic dripfall, which I will grab. Intrinsic holdover dripfall here. Sure. I've been pretty disrespectful to the game over the course of this run, so it's time to start doing some respecting. Oh, cleansing water saved me. I think cleansing water big, and I also think combustible wax is pretty strong. It just gives me enough burnout to kill the divinity for sure if we have the numbers. So is it good? Let me think. I feel like I don't actually need it because I apply enough. I think I apply enough. I think I don't need it. Got plus 25? You got a plus 25, of course. 90 health, good. And I will skip combustible wax and we'll reroll and hope for a 230 relic we can buy. Old braces is pretty good. It's a shame we're 5 gold short of Fade's first blade, which would have been just 3 more rage to all my units. Old braces doesn't do much, but it does do something. What are you doing to the blacksmith? And Chase Seraph is also going to be a little annoying because of rage. Deck's are right around where I wanted in terms of number of cards. Yeah. Hello to the wave. Good morning to the wave that made me realize I have to watch myself on specifically Chase Seraph. Thanks for coming at me with 126 damage turn 1, Sarah. And also, what the hell, Sarah? I don't need to keep playing Dripfall, so I'm going to stop it. But on the Divinity, I need to keep playing Dripfall. It's just weird because of the fact that Draft is my unit, right? Because Draft is our main unit on this run. Yeah, blocking with a drag. I guess I could put the drag here and it would block. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought that wouldn't work. Ah, I have to watch the sweeps though. It's a really weird melting run where I can't just brain off these enemies. And this is gonna be a bit of a downward spiral here, I fear. I have to use Dripfall to just, like, perma-stop one of these guys. Yeah, because if he... Okay, hold on. There's a way through here. And so I have to draw a Dripfall next turn to stop you. And then I can let the Pyre Wings go. So he's basically going into a little bit of jail here. And he's allowed to go free once he gets dazed by Fatal Melting. Is that what it's called? Mortal Entrapment. Close. Okay. Welcome to Dumb Idiot Jail. Yeah, it's fun. If it wins, then no real interesting note. But if it loses, it's interesting to note that this run loses because I was way too lazy on it. Double silence. I was very lazy with this run. Not necessarily lazy, but I saw a plan early and I hard committed, and now we have to deal with the consequences of not planning ahead. Oh no, is that the consequences of my actions coming to bear down on me? Huh? Not today, consequences of my actions. I can't hear you. And just like generally the game plan you can see here in full. Lady doesn't live forever through Relentless, but she gives enough burnout that Rector can tank through Relentless. That's the broad strokes of this run. And it works. I think the... Oh, hey. Wait a minute. Why do I have 110? What did I do? I think I did something dumb. What did I do? Oh, I put intrinsic on this after getting to 100. Yeah. That's okay. That's actually not dumb. I didn't really think about that being 110, but that is worth. I think that's definitely a worth take. So we have a few interesting things to make choices about here. I could play top 4. That's the first interesting thing to mention. I could play top 4 because I did the holdover dripfall strat. And what we could do is we could let go of dripfall when we pull mortal entrapment. I think it's really bad because if I'm off by even once, I just die. I think I'd rather play mid. Well, we have 180 pyre health to work with and also vapor funnel at 50. So I'm okay playing mid. Yeah, I'm okay with playing mid 4. I do have to sack some draws on dripfall here, unfortunately, because I need to have dripfall when the spikes wave spawns in 2 turns. So I just kind of have to let it go. Accept the position. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I don't love it, but it's okay. And as long as we pull a draft next turn, we're chilling. If they're in the bottom half, if both are in bottom half, it's a little unfortunate. Yeah, we pull one. Lady dies. I don't feel any fear about that. And everything that's really concerning here, Lady dies, and I don't feel fear because I drew Remnant Pact right on time. Thank you, Remnant Pact. I should clarify. I don't really... I guess I should daze the Divinity, yeah. This is all silenced. And so I will take 10, like 22 from the first wave. Not a big deal. Yeah, 22, no big deal. Second wave doesn't do much either. This is the wave that pushes a lot of damage, and after this wave, which I don't feel too afraid of, I think we're okay. Calculating, just counting real quick again. I have enough. No, you're good, and then we'll drip fall you back down. This was the whole plan, right? Move spikes out of the way until I have an answer for it. What is my answer to the spikes enemy? Because it doesn't like go away by me moving it. I guess I just kill it with jack strips. Yeah, jack strips did get to do something today, I guess. You're not gonna kill me, are you, Discipled Inquisitor? I don't think so. Yeah, you'd have to hit me 10 times. I think once this guy is done too, like we have the pyre health to sack here, basically. I'm not too worried. I can lose like, what, 18 from this man? I can take it. I can bear it. We got 180 and we had a perfect run. Ah shit, here we go again. 240, so you're gonna hit me 4 times? That's 60 damage. I can't drop my drip fall, although my deck is no cards. There's also two big threats, right? There's also a sweep here. Do you have spell shield? You don't have spell shield. I can. This run is so much easier if I put the value stone on Mortal Entrapment and not fucking Crystallis, man. I just like to make it harder on myself, though, I guess. I think we let these guys in. We're gonna have them drop to 1, I think. Is gonna be my best move. Either way, I'm gonna play Drip Fall. Like either way, I'm gonna play Drip Fall here because here's the deal. I have to hold the Drip Fall. My lady's dying at a bad number, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can save a bunch of pyre health by doing Drip Fall here, and it's fine. Like I'm losing damage on the Divinity, but I don't really care that much. And yeah. God, this run could have been so easy, but I made it so hard on myself. Very on brand, I say. Yeah, I'm gonna just put... I mean, Lady gets replayed for sure. No doubt about that one. This wave does nothing to me now. Crystallis kills the front guy? Not quite. I think that we drop the Pyre Wings out and we just keep it locked. Like we drop the Pyre Wings out and then we probably Mortal Entrapment it so that and then let it go. And then we just take the Spikes damage because Spikes damage is 9. And they should not take another hit. If I understand the waves correctly. I don't have the waves memorized, but I think that this is okay. I believe that is allowed. And then let's put damage on this guy. If you're keeping up to date on health save by Vapor Funnel, add 65. Plus 65 there. Thanks, Vapor Funnel. No spikes, great news. No Mortal Entrapment, less good news, but acceptable. Oh, also one of these guys is alive at 7, which is great news. That's actually much better. Only 16. My biggest concern now is that Rector's health bar is getting chunked out pretty heavily. I would say that's a little concerning, but I can't see him. Where is he? He's right here. I guess I could just keep him locked out forever, huh? That looks like what we're gonna end up doing. I'm just gonna move him again because I had to replay Lady here, and it's fine. We enter Relentless. Does this win? I think this just races the Divinity down quick enough, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's just see. Moment of truth. Ooh, I'm wrong. It does not. Oh, because there's a sweep unit. Look at that. That sweeper, Huh. That's really important. I did not know that. I'm sure I knew it, but it didn't really come to mind. We got lucky that we drew the answer, but there's another sweep unit. You can't just lock this guy in jail forever if your answer to sweep is this. You have a second sweeper. This run is... How do I put this? Let me think about it. So, let me cover this run in broad strokes for you. Let me bring up the deck, right? Paraffin Enforcer draft with a multi-strike added on is extremely high damage. Like, it's very, very, very high damage output. It is 4 or 5 rounds to scale up from start to kill Divinity. Depending on how many drafts, if you're playing 2 of them, it's like, I think it's, with 2 of them, I think it's 4 rounds from start to finish to kill Divinity with the 4 that we had, if it was just hitting the Divinity back and forth, right? So that's broad stroke number 1 that I want to cover. Number 2 is... What's number two? Number two, I guess, is that in the run where you play this, you only really need to concern yourself with keeping them alive. I think that this run, you could play this same run, but instead of Lady of the Reformed, you can cut the Lady of the Reformed and play Holdover, Intrinsic, Engulfed in Smoke, and then just stealth these two guys with Rector, and that would also work. However, the important thing to take away from this run is that 10 HP, even if you take all of the precautions that I took the double space to allow me to play two of them mid floor. Even if you take the 10, like 10 HP is not enough. The burnout one, it was a moment of oversight because I forgot Paraffin Enforcer comes with +2 burnout. I was thinking of doing Draft into Paraffin Enforcer, not vice versa. And yeah, like you instead of burnout 1, you put +25, and this runs a lot less close because even though +25 doesn't let you put top floor, for some reason, because I always think about Divinity in terms of top floor high damage, mid floor very low backline damage, it's not 0 though. For units that are hitting twice, they will take about 19 to 28 damage depending on your wave spawns from pre-relentless waves. So in the broadest strokes I can put it, that you need to have, for backliners, you want to have around 30 health, I think, for the Divinity to feel comfortable, assuming you're dealing with the sweep in some way. And then yeah, I think you can do your burnout strategy through hollow drum because you don't really need a lot of burnout for this because these guys kill so fast. And last but not least, thank you Mortal Entrapment, thank you Crystallis, and thank you the Dripfall. This is a deck that's really small, really compact, not a whole lot of cards in it, but the 3 cards that it has in it at the end are they cover the bases, thankfully. This is another run that I kind of feel like I stumbled into the win for, because I fell into this issue not too long ago where I was trying to make my decks, I was trying to make them too focused and I wasn't taking any answer cards. Like, that deck was too focused. I had a plan and I just tunnel visioned on it, and that's bad. I needed a few more answers, but draft kind of necessitates a tunnel vision strategy. I'm talking a lot about this, but I think there's a whole lot to talk about in this run. So, if you're uninterested, you can click off. But I want to finish all these thoughts because I think that these are all pretty important pieces to understanding how to make this run not so close. Because at the end of the day, I was right. You can just tunnel in on this strategy. With the setup that we had, you can hard tunnel in on draft and just win. But, minus Vapor Funnel from the equation and you die, right? Minus Jack Strips, I guess. Like, what an unbelievable twist of fate. Jack Strips saved this run by letting me drip fall a Spikes enemy. I remember when I said let's take Jack Strips and see if it does something? It did something. But yeah, I think just like in general, do this run, but instead of burnout 1 on the draft, put +25. You probably need burnout 1 on a Paraffin Enforcer draft. Other way, right? Like you do draft into Paraffin Enforcer, but not in this way, I think. I think in this way you just take 25. And yeah, I think that's it. Shout out to Unnamed Tome also for saving me a lot of damage on wave 3. Like a lot going on here. Lots to think about. But I'll end it there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one.